Hey everyone, Strainers103 here today with yet another ranked analysis. Sorry, I was supposed to have this one out a few days earlier, but my, audio settings didn't work and the recording sounded like ass. So hopefully this will sound a little bit better and actually work. This is BB Arborov Geo 1976. We're just gonna call him Arborov again, just it's a lot easier than trying to say the entire name. Anyways, we're Loyang. We're using 9.2 kilometer range torpedoes, which means they do 11.6 K damage per torpedo. Basically, they do potato. Let's just get that out of the way. These torpedoes do really, really, really potato. Anyways, with that in mind, it's a pretty battleship heavy game. In fact, they get, I'd say, the better end of the lineup. They get an Afterlol, Kutuzov, which are good firepower. We get a Kutuzov as well, obviously. They get a Kagero though, which could actually be a major thing because we were in a lol yang. We can just go in there and make him not exist anymore. Amagi is 50%. Is it 50 or 45? I completely forgot. I think it's 45. But Amagi's torpedo bulge will basically say nope to our torpedoes. They're gonna do it. Not really much if we hit them. Bismarcks are alright, but they're pretty quick. Monarchs are reasonably quick as well. North Carolinas are still maneuverable enough, but if we get a broadside, we can do some decent amount of damage. But these torpedoes, either you insert them in someone's face, or you spam them at long range and do a little bit of chip damage every now and then, a little bit here and there. Now, our lineup is kind of the more brawly worst lineup because, Alabama, Bismarck, Roma are not known for their accurate and reliable guns. Anyway, somebody off in the distance decides they're going to smoke. It could be the Kutuzov, it could also be exactly that. It's time for us to smoke in Hydro. I probably would have gone smoke before Hydro because, well, he ain't gonna torp us just yet. He's coming online as well. But it looks like the Kagero is, how can we put it? Screwed up a little bit. Just a minor little boo-boo trying to get torpedoes off, and he didn't even have a good torpedo angle that really hit us. So he's basically panic launched, and he's now minorly islanded himself. Now, we are zooming out after each shot, but it seems like what's on our peripheral vision, PS, hint, that, and now, right about now, we're going to notice it. Oh, Scheiße, torpedoes. So, yeah. We don't actually know whose smoke screen that is, though. I mean, it could be the Kageros, it could be the Kutuzov, but we should have died here. And, I mean, we must have noticed the Ottogo at this point. I would have used those torpedoes and just launched them straight into there and try to catch him. Obviously, it's too late now because, one, we launched them. And also, we're too close to the target now. We can't actually shoot our guns without him being able to detect us. So, well, he hasn't hydroed us. So, we're actually kind of safe just sitting here. Anyways, another set of torpedoes. This one's kind of heading here, so we're actually going to have to evacuate our smoke screen. We can see it coming in. It's going to pass right here. We don't actually have to fully evacuate. You can see we can barely stay inside. Now, I would not have done that. I would not have fired our guns because we can just go here and we're going to be unspotted. Like, the Ottogo is no longer able to spot us. Anyways, it's revealed that the Kutuzov is the guy capping Charlie, so it's unlikely that it was his smoke screen in the back. It could have been, but I'd find it much more likely that was actually the Kagero misclicking his smoke, especially considering his opening play. Now, as this was a game played on the 26th of May, I believe, which conveniently enough happens to be my birthday, but as it's really late in the season, misplays like that can kind of, in a way, be common. But also, we're not in the tier 10 bracket yet, so we're not in the, well, quote-unquote retard bracket yet, which, the real horrible bracket to be in. But anyways, we do get ourselves an initial advantage. We've held the middle cap, and that's a really difficult cap to take back at any point in the game, especially now that your destroyer died in the first minute and a half. And, well, let's be completely fair, we should have died as well. If the Ottogo had Hydro, which you should have, we'd be dead. GG. We would just be dead, game over, 50-50 who's going to win or lose. Sure, we have B, but, well, I mean, they're Ottogo basically just suicided through. And a tactic like that, if you have Hydro, can actually, in a way, be kind of semi-viable. Depends, of course, a lot on the northwestern side of the the map, you can see what's going on here. You know, if this does not push through, then, you know, an Article can pretty safely just tuck himself in there. At the moment, it looks like, let's have a look at the health bars. Our New Orleans got what the fuck good. So he's having a really, really good day. Our Kutuzov in a really horrible position. You can't really poke through there. He's close to stuff. People can spot him, blast him. They got a lot of healthy ships over there. Bismarck losing health is absolutely not a big deal. Amagi needs a rapid advance in the opposite direction. These guys need to start getting themselves going. Bismarck is looking to go and unschluss the Kutuzov, but hey. Now, let's pause this here. There are multiple points in this match, which, well, put it this way. Many roads lead to Rome. There are many different ways of handling these unique situations we're presented with. Now, a quick look at the minimap in this one. There's a lot more of these coming. I'll probably be pausing the replay at least one more time throughout this this replay, maybe even twice, we'll see. But the Kutuzov is currently advancing away, so this is what we need to be thinking about, and we've probably been thinking about it all the time we've been traveling from Cap to here, because, well, we know he's here. Now, just looking at the map, Kutuzov is heading this way. He knows there's a Bismarck there, because he was damaging the Bismarck, and almost certainly we'd know about that, because we were looking in this direction, so we'd see the Bismarck bleeding health. Bismarck and Kutuzov, in close quarters combat, it can really go either way. Bismarck lolpens a Kutuzov's armor, so he can delete the Kutuzov bow on, or make a really big mess out of him. Kutuzov can also just rush in and torpedo him. So, now, this is back to player cam, so we wouldn't necessarily have known, but Kutuzov's port side torpedoes are out. I know this because I watched this replay, so I know Kutuzov's port sides are out, and starboard's about to be launched. Now, considering the fact that we know that his port sides were out, we know, at least if we caught the information, there you go, Kutuzov launched starboard. And to launch starboard, the Kutuzov, with the way he was moving, would have had to do exactly the U-turn he was doing. Of course, it's a pretty advanced thinking, and in the heat of battle, you wouldn't really think about this. Now, there's two options here. One, sit here and wait, hope Alabama keeps, or something in the back can spot him, but that island's kind of blocking, and basically anticipate him coming across. This is the we don't want to lose health option. Now, the moment we trigger a hydro here, he instantaneously knows, oh, hey, look, we're here. Which means it's unlikely he's going to rush through. The other option is to push him. This option we take now, especially with the 55 knot, 9.2 kilometer, 11,600 damage torpedoes, we should have died. At this point, we should have died for the second time in the game, and the Kutuzov should have killed us at the cost of half his health. And that would have been game, we would have lost at this point. Luckily for us, the Kutuzov decides he's going to commit suicide, so we actually hold. Now, the North Carolina's in the cap, and we need to remember, these guys over there, they can shoot him, but not necessarily so well. So what we can do here, we want to reset the cap. What we should be doing is to sail in like this, because if we have 11.6 firing range, just lock onto him, 11.6, go up here, lock onto him, shoot him a few times, then go to the cap. It's a delaying action. That's not going to do anything, it's out of range. If anything, what you want to do is to look at the North Carolina and then look up like this, to elevate your guns to the maximum possible rate and hope dispersion gets you a lucky hit. But too late now, they get the cap. It's not really too big of a deal, but small things like this can help in the long term. Because currently we're playing currently 4 versus 4. We've lost a battleship to Bismarck. I don't consider the New Orleans in the game. He's 100% out of the game. The only thing he's giving is currently a little bit of points. Now, we're going to take back a little bit of that, and our Amagi got away with it because, you know, it's Amagi, it's really difficult to kill, especially if the enemy team's shooting AP, it's incredibly difficult for them to kill. Bismarck can't do anything about it. Amagi could shoot HE and do some serious damage. North Carolina is going to have a hard time of it because, you know, Amagi kiting is just an Amagi kiting, and a Monarch, well, you're going to have to spam HE because Monarch's AP is going to be useless against this. Anyways, it looks like our Roma wants to get in close and probably have a really, really bad time. We're looking to probably launch some torpedoes in through the gap where they are. Chances are they're going to be pushing in to try to contest Bravo, but unfortunately our Roma is kind of blocking that salvo. We didn't insta-launch, which means we pretty much lost any chance of being able to pull off the salvo right now. So, well, we're just going to have to go in and make the most out of this Roma's suicide, because they want to get into the cap. Now, at quarter speed, we can creep a smoke screen surprisingly far up, but because our torpedoes do absolutely potato damage, and PS, that's a survivability in North Carolina, What we want to do here is just launch a single set, wait about 30 to 35 seconds before launching the second one. So unfortunately what happens here is we full them, and that's really, really bad because it means that all these guys can just damage control party, and, well, hey, nothing's going to come out of that. You won't get a flooding. And, you know, Roma only has one torpedo. Anyways, we do get a fire in North Carolina, so we're swapping to the Monarch, and we do actually get a damage control party trigger at around about the 11-minute mark. However, 20-second damacon, the torpedoes going in a little bit too fast. So again, if we'd held the second salvo of torpedoes, and there you go, it hit 1 or 2 seconds before the damage control party expired. So in a way, we get unlucky that the North Carolina had a damage control party and was slow about reacting on using it. But on the other hand, we still hit 2 torpedoes, so hey, it's a little bit of damage, but then again, if we had hit him with a second torpedo right about now, and that one had caused flooding, GG, that North Carolina is dead. And we could pretty much just, well, maybe set one fire on him and then just ignore him. Because he's gonna flood for a gazillion damage, and, well, there's nothing he can do about it. So this moment, 30 seconds until the next torpedo salvo, and we actually get MLG'd by the Monarch, which is quite interesting. The guy isn't completely horrid. And it looks like the North Carolina is trying to MLG us as well. Torps up in 20. Monarch is kind of sailing out of that, but you know, again, he's in hydro range. We just need to try to reset. And again, we have a minute left in the smoke screen. We don't want to be too close to these guys when they kind of like start killing with, you know, us. We can creep to the edge of the smoke screen, it's the last path, but again, stagger those torpedo drops. If we're going to hit the Monarch, well, he's not going to sit there and continue reversing like that. He saw us shooting out of the smoke. He knows we got a torpedo reload. He knows torpedoes are going to be loaded sometime soon. And in about 1 or 2 seconds, he's going to know the torpedoes are coming against North Carolina. So he's going to rapidly advance in a forward-going direction. We're going to kill the North Carolina. Like, he's gone. But unfortunately, bailing out of the smoke screen like that also means we're no longer actually able to shoot the Monarch. Granted, the Monarch is currently shelling our Amagi, and the Amagi just needs to shell the Monarch in return and get the resetted. But, I mean, if the Monarch's smart, he's just going to stay inside the capture circle and make life difficult for us. And at the moment, it doesn't even seem like the Amagi is even remotely interested in shooting at the Monarch, which is kind of awkward. Not actually sure where the Amagi is pointing the guns, but, like, you know what? Let me just get over here and check. I'm curious. Looks like basically... No, nope. That was actually aimed at the Monarch. Anyways, another pause. 40 seconds until torpedo reload. Monarch shooting HE. We know that. It's Monarch, and, well, we've been observing him shooting HE, which means he hits at a center torpedo launcher, jams the torpedo launcher. If it ain't loaded, it ain't getting loaded. It's another minute and a half to reload it. One torpedo launcher is not enough to kill this guy. In no way is one torpedo launcher enough to kill this guy. Each one of his HE shells does around about 2,000 damage. We've got 13,000 health. Let's just say we have 12,000 health. We can take 6 HE shells from him. That's all of his front turrets at us. We can also get to a point where we can prevent him from being able to engage his rear turret against us, which means he needs to hit every single shell against us, set fires and break some of the stuff against us, and not saturate. He saturates any given instance of our ship. If we sail, for example, bow in, he might break a gun turret, but it's unlikely he's going to kill us, especially not considering minimum dispersion value is a thing. So the probability of the Monarch upfront wiping us is incredibly low. So all we need to do is wait 43 seconds before poking around the corner. That way we do not get our torpedo tubes jammed. Sail right up to the side. Okay, not right up to our side. We don't want to launch torpedoes into his belt and have them not armed because we launch them too close. But sail right past them, and he's going to have a hard time engaging his rear turret unless he's actually got him pre-turn and is able to react on time. And if that's even worse, what we can also do is to wait, basically sit where we are right now, and wait. We got, sure, our Hydra's going to expire, sure, the Amagi's not spotting him and whatnot. That basically just adds to the, I guess you can say the unknowingness of the Monarch. He doesn't know if we just simply ran, if we tried to go behind him, if we torp someone else, or if it just simply expired. He might just think it expired, because, but, he saw us heading away, so he doesn't really know. So yeah, the right thing to do in my opinion, and I watched this through once, wait for him to fire, wait for our torpedoes to load, soak up the out rush and kill him. Because we need to remember, sure, we might iterate, sure, Benson torpedoes do like 16,233 or 320, some weird number like that. It's only some of the Japanese torpedoes I remember the exact numbers of. But 16k is a lot more than what we've got of 11,600. So we need, like, at this point with torpedo balls, we probably would need 7, 8, if not 9 torpedoes just to kill the guy. We got 10. So let's play ball and watch. We're staying here, slowing down, making sure we don't really do any rash decisions too early. But the most important thing to remember here is that if we're gonna trade, we ensure we trade positively, and we ensure that we guarantee the kill, because then we can take the cap. You see over there, Amagi, Bismarck, nowhere near. Bismarck bleeding, low HP. We kill the Monarch, we can go farm the Amagi. He's never going to get into the cap. Our Alabama and our Amagi can deal with him, and our Alabama's actually shooting HE. So torpedo's not loaded yet. Almost, but second tube, 4, 3, he's going to be loaded. He's not reversing. We fuck up. Correction, we fuck up about as hard as we can possibly ever fuck up. So instead of, we basically just panicked. Either we don't launch torpedoes, or we wait, launch one set, wait, launch second set, damage over time. Now, we should be at the point where we're no longer really able to shoot them, but considering that we were broadside, it didn't do much damage. We would have more than been able to, at this kind of range, sail up to his face and just delete him. Even if it's reversing, which is, mind you, the right thing of him to do. He should have just tried to start reversing again, just to build the distance and time a destroyer would need. Now, what we should have done here is basically to zoom in, and this is important, find out where the rear turret is facing, because that dictates the flank at which we want to push him. Now, let's see, zoom out again. Back to player cam. Chances are it's turrets on the right side, but now you go, look, we're spotted. Now, the other option would have been GTFO, but our torps aren't loaded. On the other hand, only his number 3 can engage us, and you see, 2k something damage, and this is another big mistake, in my opinion. There's, like I said at the start, there's many roads to Rome, and there are many ways that this game can go good for us. There's also a lot of ways this game can go wrong. We ram him, we deal 17,400 damage. He's gonna flood for a little bit. Actually, we don't actually... He's going to flood for 20-30 seconds, which probably would be enough to kill him. But if he has a heal, that's not a guarantee. He might live and be able to get a damacon up, especially if he has high left and a signal on his ship, which I'm not asked to check. But for him to be able to engage number 1 and 2, let me just speed up a little bit, because we can just run out here and still be alive, kill the Amagi, let this guy, if he tries to turn like this, he's going to broadside, well, he's shooting HE, but he's going to eventually broadside him, which can be really, really bad for his long-term survivability. We can also shoot HE at his superstructure while we're going in like this, or shoot AP at his stern, for example, or at his bow. But a lot of different options. If we want to go for the ram, I wouldn't really take it. I would sail past. The other one, because the Bismarck died, we could just run away. Let him have it. He doesn't have hydro. Just run away. Turn around, put a smoke screen, turn tail, run away. Because we panic torp and panic smoke. Granted, the best option would have been just go in, get close, guarantee the kill, but that wasn't really the case. So that was the second big, in my opinion, misplay. Of course, you may disagree. If anyone, you guys watching, if you would have done anything differently, tell me what you would have done in the comment section below. I'm actually interested to hear this kind of situation, because there are, like I said, many different ways to road. Many different roads to Rome. Anyways, let's put this back on full speed. Boom! And there you go. We did exactly 17,400 damage to him, plus a flooding, because we collided at this kind of speed. And on top of that, we fed him a die hard. And our bomber's low HP, and their Amagi is mediocre HP. Our Amagi's got more HP. But, again, you can see in the top right corner, there is a little bit of flooding damage. Someone says idiot DD in chat, and I actually agree. That was, well, I don't necessarily agree with what he says, but that is actually not necessarily the good choice. Because, sure, the enemy Amagi doesn't have a lot of HP, but there is still a theoretical possibility for him to kill both the Alabama and the Amagi. With us alive, that would not have been the case. So we basically throw away our ship when we could have been able to survive, and we could have either gone and killed the Amagi or something. Yeah, Amagi shooting HE at the Alabama, who also is shooting back at him with HE. Absolutely the correct ammunition to do here. We say the absolute wrong thing in the chat. 100% wrong thing over there. Only ship remaining, 11,000 health. Amagi just needs an angle, load HE, and shoot HE back. GG, we win. Amagi has no escape. whatsoever. And let me take control of camera here so we can see what I want to see. We'll start using free cam then. Basically, if the army is shooting AP here, this actually could have been the game right now. Our army is shooting AP, so he's going to achieve a grand total of jack shit. He's going to achieve a grand total of jack shit because it didn't even hit him, but again, late rank season, this could have been absolutely devastating. He should be launching a plane right now, and realistically speaking, he should just go straight in here, straight up there, load HE, shoot the armor either in the bow or the superstructure, probably just the bow, because, 32mm of armor, HE is just going to upfront kill him. So, yeah, enemy team is now ahead on points. They would not have been so if it survived. We could have still killed the Monarch later on. We could have also just killed off the armor, protected our fleet, and then killed the Monarch later on. So yeah, let's just speed this up, because there's nothing really interesting at this point that's going to happen. It's really just butt clenching in terms of the way this guy in the armor over here is kind of trying to think about how to throw the game. But realistically speaking, with 4 minutes left of the game, if it gets into the cap, it's still GG in our favor, because if the armor crosses into Charlie to try to cap that, well, we still get double cap against them, although it is getting... No, it shouldn't be anywhere near, because if they do not reach 900 points, which they will not do, because before the armor gets into the cap, we'll still be able to take the capture points and win. And there you go. We're now in A, and the enemy armor has not been spotted. He cannot possibly be in C because, well, the ship is so bad with the concealment that we would have seen him trying to cross here. Now he's launching a plane. His own aircraft, absolutely the correct move to make. It is 100% the right thing to do. Should have done that earlier, in my opinion. But he probably had it on cooldown, probably using stock consumables or something. So especially considering a play like that. But then again, at this point, we do have to get the spotting on him. We can't really shoot over the island. He's kind of, you can see he's really close to the back end of the island, so it's unlikely we'd be able to shoot over that. We're angled enough. The guy's healed back a tiny little bit of health, but that's it. He's unlikely to get any more heals. He's either been taking... Well, he either just doesn't have the heal or, well, whatever, but doesn't matter. We try to shoot at him, doesn't hit, obviously. This Amagi tries to shoot him, fails, and, well, he just needs to stay angled in right now, and, I mean, that's really about it. The Amagi is unlikely to be able to kill him. He's angling in right now. If the enemy Amagi had shot in his bow, a small chance for Citadel, that's not going to do anything. Shooting AP at Amagis is just silly, in my opinion. Secondaries are opening up on both sides. These guys, I don't think have any kind of secondary specs whatsoever, but ours actually gets a kill on him, and that's the game. That definitely could have been thrown. I always trust people to find a way to throw. Seriously, I'm not even joking. 143k damage, 11 torpedo hits. Could have been a lot more if we gone for the flooding damage over time, and we also would have easily been able to survive the game. 11 listed torpedo hits, but it's actually 12. We used our own ship as a torpedo in the end. Definitely not a torpedo I would have utilized, but in the end, all that's good is good, and we still win. It could have easily been thrown, though. And also, we kind of threw away a potential Kraken Unleashed there, but hey, who cares, it's ranked. So, what really matters here? We got the caps, we got the cargo in the opening stages of the game. We missed a massive opportunity to kill the Octogol, so that's a massive situational awareness issue there. Definitely want to be checking that up, but judging by the potato quality on the game, I'm guessing we were playing some kind of laptop or something, so we might actually not have had the resolution to see the Octogol like that. Like, I see it on my screen, but if you have some, like, 4:3, 4:3 ratio, aspect ratio screen, that may not really have been rendered in an area, because at the end of the day, if you're concentrated on something in the area, in the middle area, this is basically, depending on how good your peripheral vision is, this is basically a vision, and anything outside of that is basically a blur zone. You won't really see it. So, like, what is obvious to me in the replay isn't necessarily obvious to the player in battle. So we definitely got lucky that he didn't punish us there. We should have died. Game should have been over right then and there. Octogo hydros us, we die. That's really about it. That was the first big deal, but kind of, trade down the cargoes, I guess it's fine. You still give your team an equal chance instead of just, even failing to kill the cargo and losing then. That would have been even worse. Team wanted to throw in the end, but, yeah. Let's see, what else is out there? We missed an opportunity to kill the Octogo, could have torped him to death. And then there's the misplay. Well, in my opinion, misplay with the Kutuzov again. Second time we should have just upfront died. We probably would have should have missed all those, most of those torpedoes. Hit him with 1 or 2, maybe even 3 if you get lucky. But that's not really gonna kill him because 11,600 damage against the ship with 40,000 health. Even though he only had like 33 or something when he took the engagement, chances are he could have potentially survived that and just killed us. Again, don't launch torpedoes like that. If you're gonna launch torpedoes at anything closer, well, if you're launching torpedoes at anything closer than 5 kilometers, either you guarantee the kill or you don't launch until you can guarantee the kill. So yeah, in the end stages of the game, we basically torpedo the enemy monarch again, and then North Carolina without damage over time. We could have been using, or trying to use damage over time torpedoes against them. Hit one, get the damage control party. Hit the second one, get a little bit unlucky that we set the fire, late, and it doesn't instantly damage control party it. Otherwise, there's a small chance we could have hit, our torpedoes have flooded the North Carolina to death. But that's just luck. I would not count on getting an instant fire with the guns like that. Of course, if we shot earlier and also got an instant fire, that could have resulted in luck as well. When we tried to push the Monarch for the torpedo ram kill, what we should have done is load AP, shoot his bow, or shoot his stern, deal as much bonus damage as we can, because the Monarch could potentially maybe have just been able to get a damage control party off or a heal off, saving his tail in the process. And that guy clearly had some level of competence because he tried to MLG us in our smoke and was actually successful for a salvo. He also tried to contest the capture points in some way, shape, or form. So again, another demonstration that he isn't incompetent. And that's a deal with this ranked bracket. In the later stages of the season, this ranked bracket doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at the game. It just means you're late into the season start, or you didn't start it, didn't have time. The gameplay is only going to get worse in the 5 to 10 bracket, because that's where you get stuck, because Wargaming decided that it would be a genius idea to not introduce I'll just be straightforward with it, retard buffer, a low skill buffer zone that rank 10 to 12 used to be in the past. But there is none of that buffer now, so basically you get to tier 10, you get to rank 10, there's absolutely nothing to stop you from staying in there, you cannot fall past it, which means that rank 10 to 5 will basically become the bracket where you cannot, if you get lucky enough to get carried through it, or you basically take advantage of the star saving to get there, along with the fact you gain an extra star for obtaining a new rank, meaning that you can theoretically have a 35% or to 40% win rate and still get the rank 10. So there you go. Anyways, less ranting about that. Let's have a look at the score screen. We're top of the scoreboard, and the rest of the team's rather far down. We get incredibly lucky in this game that we actually got this kind of a reasonably high score. Enemy Monarch, as expected, is the top scoring member of their team. The rest of the team didn't really seem to have that good of a day. The Ottico should have just up and killed us, and that would have been game in their favor with the superior gameplay quality of their team. The Kagero committed suicide at the very start of the game, didn't get anywhere and whatnot. Until report screen, we get 10k off the Kagero, somebody else shoots him for a little bit of damage. We could have had so much more potential damage against the Ottico if, in fact, we could have gotten the kill. And we can see the Kutuzov with 34,820 health. I forgot exactly how many torpedoes we hit on him, but I think it actually was a 4, and well, it almost certainly was 4 because of the 11,600. The thing does have a little bit of damage reduction, and you could saturate a little bit and whatnot, so you're never going to hit the full 11,600. So yeah, that's almost certainly 4 torpedoes required, which means 2 per set, which means that if he just bow on pushed us and had Hydro up, we'd be dead. Just like to the Ottico, if he'd had Hydro up, the entire enemy team would have farmed us to death as well, most likely, or severely incapacitated our ability to play into the late game. Sure, it might cost the Ottico his life, but he's traded the destroyers down and could potentially get the cap advantage with double cap against a team that didn't really seem too interested in pushing, and the guys that did try to push basically just got messed up early. Monarch and North Carolina, 47, 46 each. Again, torpedo spam could have had a lot more, could have had safer kills on them, or just gone in, taking the risk and rushed them. Especially the Monarch, we could have rushed him and just secured the kill, finished him off, ended the game right then and there without giving our army a chance to throw in the late game. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. If you did, subscribe to my channel, like the video, tell your friends. Give me a comment down in the comment section below if you disagree with my commentary and my strategic analysis. If you would have done something differently, such as rushed, if you rush a different ship, rush the Kutuzov, or whatever, give me a comment in the comment section below. That's what it's for. Tell me what you think about how you would have played this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.